Dial 650 in association with Tom Lucas Productions presents Radio Real Estate.
Our house in the middle of us.
And now, here are your hosts, Bill Macklem, Fern Northcutt, and Tom Lucas.
And hello, welcome to the Radio Real Estate Show. Here we are just one day away from Halloween. You're all dressed up, Fern.
You bet.
I love your little ears today.
Cute.
Oh, those are your real ears, aren't they? And Bill, you're dressed up too. You got your costume on.
Yeah, I like being a pumpkin.
You look like a big pumpkin, a big...
Not even going
That's
there.
what my mom
orange
says.
pumpkin.
My mom says that.
Does she really?
Oh, been on a diet lately? Oh, you're starting to look like a pumpkin.
Looks like a pumpkin. Well, Mrs. Macklem, he looks like a big pumpkin to me, too. So here we are. It's trick-or-treat time on the show.
Trick-or-treat.
And trick-or-treat, we say to Fern, because you've got a story about a very interesting celebrity whose home is for sale.
I certainly do. Jackie O's mansion that she moved into after JFK was killed in November of 1963 is a bargain on the market at $8.9 million. And this was her interim home before she moved to New York. So I guess she had a year of grieving in her mansion. It was the Georgetown home of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. Is now on the market for $8.9 million.
I can do a lot of grieving for $8.9 million, too, let me tell you.
Yeah?
Yeah. Bill, can we afford that place?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah? Really?
I think
Oh,
we
yeah.
have to pool all of our incomes, don't you?
We're going to see Bill later on in the show.
And a few other people.
I see.
Will
Well,
that
Bill,
give us 5% down or 20% down, Bill?
Bill Macklem is here. He's the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. He's the resident real estate expert when it comes to mortgages on the program. You will have the mortgage rate update in a few minutes, right, Billy?
Absolutely. And later on, I'm going to be chatting about borrowing from MIC funds.
Borrowing from MIG funds. We've talked about putting money into them with Fern and you.
But we never talk about borrowing from them and what it means and all the implications. And there's a certain amount of frustration there with realtors, with clients, general public. They just don't understand.
Good. Well, it's
And so
interesting.
we want to get to the core of that.
All right. We're also
Enlightening.
going to hear some of Fern's thoughts on the current real estate situation. I'm afraid to hear what you come up with today.
Today I'm going to talk about laneway homes in Vancouver.
Our radio real estate home handyman, Finn Jensen, is going to talk about family accommodation then and now.
And we're also going to talk about real estate as we do on the show each and every week. Please go to the website RadioRealEstateShow.ca. That's RadioRealEstateShow.ca and download one of our podcasts. You can hear Bill or Fern again talking about whatever you want to hear them talking about.
Fantastic.
One of your jokes, too. One of your jokes, too.
Well, I only have one.
Well, they can hear, listen to it.
Is it a Halloween joke?
No, it's just a joke.
Was it? Do you want to tell it now?
No.
Okay. No, fine. Okay.
Monica Dina Briga, I have a new tongue today. President of Mommy Maze joins us, and today Monica talks about how to protect you and your family during the cold and flu season. You know what? I needed to talk to her about 3 months ago because I've had this cold and flu and pneumonia thing since July.
Well, then
You
take
have,
notes.
haven't you?
Take notes. You get some good stuff out.
You're working too hard.
Yeah, I think so. It's the Radio Real Estate News headlines coming up. I'll read the headlines from the past week, the stories that were out there. Bill and Fern will give us their expert opinion. And also Norm Holmes will be back. Norm is the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation. And today we're going to talk about those new mortgage rules and what they really mean to people like you and me.
It's always just you and me and the public. Your mortgage question of the week is coming up in our next segment. If you have a question for Bill, please leave it on our website, RadioRealEstateShow.ca. That's RadioRealEstateShow.ca.
And we'll be hearing from Bob DeWitt. Bob is the CEO of the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association. We'll talk about Vancouver in Transit. It's a special luncheon which is coming up with Kevin Desmond, who is the CEO of Translink. So that'll be interesting to talk about.
I'm looking forward to that. Andrea Jock of Keller Williams Lee Realty is with us, and she's going to talk about something different.
And also we're going to be chatting with Janice and Cynthia from the Real Estate Corner. Today they're coming to us from the Vancouver Home and Design Show down at the Convention Center. So we'll wrap that up and we'll see what's been going on down there. So right now, Billy, I think it's time.
Just now time for Fern's Thoughts.
Taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way.
So, laneway homes. There was an article in a magazine that came across my desk about small wonder homes. So that basically what this home is a laneway home behind a home in Vancouver that the builder / owner, etc., have built mainly for their retirement. But they're a long way off retirement right now. So what they're doing is that they are renting out this cute little home. And so basically it's available to renters. It has been rented now, but the people that are living there, they say it's very livable because you're all on the main floor. The way that these homes are designed, that they have windows up the top across, like Park Lane homes did many years ago to make it nice and bright. There are, it's not similar to tiny homes that you see on TV, but it's like a big tiny home, but very well designed. And so it's Jake Fry of Small Works. He is the builder. I have had a chat with him earlier in the week. We talked about this new concept for Vancouver because we need housing everywhere. Our vacancy rate right now is 0.06%, and people do need to live somewhere. And a lot of people just don't want to move out in the valley. So we've got these laneway homes, and compared to condo living, you don't have an elevator to deal with. You have a yard. You can, granted, you're in somebody's backyard because the house is right there, but you have all of the perks of living in a single family dwelling, but you're in somebody's backyard. And what a neat deal, because the owners down the road, they will rent out their big home or will it to their family or whatever they're going to do, and then they'll live in the laneway home, and they have already thought about their transition. I don't know how old the owners are, but let's say they're in their 40s or 50s. They have already done this foresight for the next 20 years. And so I don't have a problem with laneway homes and this kind of out-of-the-box thinking. That's my thoughts for today.
I wonder if it'll ever come to the point where you could have the main house and then a laneway home and put the laneway home up for sale and call a realtor. I wonder if that'll ever happen. What do you think?
Well, it would be like a panhandle lot at that point. And, that would be the next thing that if I were an owner in Vancouver and put a laneway home there, the next thing I would do, because if I'm looking for retirement, let's say 20 years down the road, immediately I would try and get the city to think out of the box and let's try and make this, I don't know, like a strata, or let's make it that, yes, we can quote subdivide, but yeah, let's look at it so we can sell our single family home, but we still have somewhere to live. So we're not, as baby boomers, putting a burden on our housing.
All right. Well, City Council can consider that after they consider the next crossing in the West End and what color it should be. Bill Macklem is here. Bill is the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, and you have this week's mortgage rate update for us, Willie.
I can't speak. The rates are still low, still pretty much the same as they were last week. You got 2.44 on a 5-year fix. You got a 2.2 on a variable. So money is cheap if you qualify. So we're going to start talking a little bit more about these rates. So rates are rates, and everybody hears about the rates, and everybody wants the best rates, and we all fight over the best rates. The difference between the best rate and the next best rate is probably a cup of coffee a week. So this is just bragging rights. So we talk about rates, but the most important part about the whole process of rates is what kind of product is it? What kind of mortgage is it? Is it portable? Is it assumable? Can I pay it down? Can I do different things with it? It's just not about the rate.
In other words, is it right for me?
Exactly.
And who's going to help me out with that?
Mortgage broker like
Absolutely.
Bill Macklem
Well,
from Dominion Macklem Mortgages.
He's a good guy to know. He's up in 24th Avenue in South Surrey, right?
And cookies again.
Really?
Yeah, they're back.
Oh, Ray. Happy Halloween, Willie.
Thank you very much.
I'll be by today.
Oh, yeah, let's go by early, right after the show. We get our cookies.
Good plan.
In the next segment of the program, Bill will answer the mortgage question of the week, and later we'll examine the radio real estate news headlines. We'll also discuss the new mortgage regulations with Norm Holmes, the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation.
You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house on Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
CL 650.
We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
Well, we do. We get stacks and stacks of letters each and every week to Bill Macklem. The one came in, Bill, we're not going to answer it this week. It came in to Dear Bill. So I figured we'd let that one go.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but you are dressed up today. You have your neat orange sweater on.
It's a very wide stitch.
It is. It's not your typical BC Lions orange. It's a very wide stitch orange. I think
Yes,
it's
it
a
is.
wide whale.
Wide whale. That's good. That was a good point.
That's
Good,
right.
Wide whale.
As it refers to corduroy, though. That's not a wide whale.
Well, some people call me a wide whale.
Oh, yeah, you
No,
guys.
no, no.
Oh, you guys.
Okay, so Fern, you have a question for our wide whale.
Our question of the week comes to us from Paul Prentice of the West End. Paul would like to know, Bill, if he could finance a rental property, and if so, is there anything he should be giving some extra consideration to?
Thanks, Vern. That's a great question from Paul. So when you're going to be buying a revenue property, you need to have 20% down. It's okay. So you got to have 20% down. You have to qualify income-wise. So if you already have a home and you're buying a revenue property, you got to qualify for both of them. If you're using the rent to kind of help you qualify, they'll allow you to use, most times it will be 50% of the rental income because they don't take into consideration taxes and vacancies and that type of thing. So that's how you start. From a business perspective, you actually do not want to use the cash that you might have in your account to put the down payment on the revenue property. You actually want to borrow that money, if you can, from the equity in your current home. The reason why you want to do that is that you know that if you take the money out of your home, that's a cost. That cost now becomes a tax-deductible expense on your revenue property. So if you have to do an appraisal on your property and then you're going to do some financing on your property, you're obviously going to have a legal fee. So those are tax-deductible costs. And then the interest on the money that you borrow from your home to buy this property is tax-deductible as per Revenue Canada. You're doing it for investment purposes, for revenue purposes. So that way there you can actually do what I would call 100% financing. So you're 100% financing the entire home so that you can get maximum tax deduction and take advantage of the fact that you may not have to pay any income tax on this particular property. So yes, buying a revenue property is an excellent idea. And Fern was just saying earlier this morning that vacancy rates are at an all-time low. So you would probably have the choice of whoever you want to rent it. So you're going to get some good rents. And if you're going to rent, you should actually you should not be Canadian. You should actually be a business person and have a property manager. You do not want to be involved with the ongoing hassles of property unless you're retired and you have all the time in the world. But otherwise, you would really want to have somebody that looks after it, a third party, so that they're going to look after the property for you, number one. Number two, if you're on holidays sometime and you get a phone call at 3 in the morning because the toilet's not working, you don't have to answer that call because the property manager does that. And the fees for the property manager are tax deductible.
He's good, right?
What a concept.
He's good.
Yes, very good. But the other thing is that with a property manager, that they know the rules and regulations of the Landlord and Tenancy Act. And because of all the stuff changing, and I think that's coming up in our next little segment there, that it's a good thing that you have somebody that knows that it's right up to date. So, for expert in mortgage information online, visit billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y.com, or call Billy at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family.
Okay, we are family. We're going downtown right now to talk to the real estate sisters who are standing by. Janice and Cynthia are on the line. Hello there, ladies. How are you?
Hello. Hi, Tom.
Nice to hear your voices again. I guess you've been pretty busy since, Thursday? You've been out of the show?
Yeah, we're at the Home and Design show at the Convention Center.
Right.
Very cool down here. Lots of good stuff going on.
Lots of people coming by to see you?
Yep. Lots of people are coming. Yep.
Well, last time we had you on, you were talking about the Urban Barn main stage. They're going to have some of the top home and design talent on the Urban Barn main stage. Have you had a chance to see any of them?
No, because we're in our booth.
Right.
Oh, they're working down there.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah.
We are working, But there's Todd Talbot from the Vancouver, from the Love It or List It Vancouver's has been on Saturday, and he's doing another one this afternoon. And then there's lots of really, really good exhibitors down here.
Now, I know that lots of people are coming by to see you, too. What sort of questions are they asking you at your booth down there?
They're asking us what we actually do. They said, so what do you do? And so, well, we say we're a real estate resource center down here, and we have all things related to real estate. That's what we do. And so if you have any questions about legal, if you have any questions about legal or about architecture or about design or about insurance or about buying or selling a home, we are your one-stop shop. So we will hook you up with a building inspector if you need to have an inspection done, if you need to have your home staged. We have stagers. We have all things related to getting a property ready, or if you need to sell it, or if you want to buy an investment property, you want to sell an investment property. If you're say your age is a little older and you want to downsize a little bit, you're looking for a smaller place that's all one level, we can help you with that. So that's the kind of things you're asking. And the main number one question is, what's going on with the market?
I guess. So what is going on with the market, you guys?
Well,
it's kind of sad, actually, what's going on with the market. I was we look at the statistics all the time, and we look at the statistics for October. Actually, so in Richmond, there's 760 detached houses on the market. On the west side, there's 660. In Port Moody, there's like 340 or something like that. So it's amazing what areas are actually going. Condos and townhouses are selling. Houses, not so much. So it's a really funny market that we have right now, and I think there's just a lot of people sitting on the sidelines. A lot of people.
You're finding out that condos and townhomes are selling, but the single-family houses aren't?
Correct.
Interesting. Right. Interesting. I just have a quick question for you. Now, I've been to many of these shows, and I love them, but do you find it's mostly women that come to these things and they drag their husbands along with them?
on the weekends, but during the week, there's a lot of single people there too.
And a lot of guys too, huh?
For sure, yeah. They're out walking out with the massagers, and they're like, there's some. Okay, that's not meant to be that way. But they've got some interesting things. One of the things that I found, there's a few things that I found very interesting at the show. They have a steam bath. Very inexpensive to put it in your shower. The steam showers where you can sit and cleanse your body and stuff like that. They started at about $1,100. They actually have, the coolest thing that I found was actually they have a retaining wall that looks just like rock. And It's very inexpensive. It's better than the ties that people are putting in that are in there. Very cool. That's one other cool thing. The other thing that I really liked, and this has been at a few shows, is actually the steel roof. They are very expensive, but they actually they have a lifetime guarantee on them. And they come in, can make them look like cedar. They can make them look like the hacienda style roof. They can make them in all different designs, and they're gorgeous. So you want to put something like that on your house, it's great. And there's one other thing that they had was actually they have an eco turf that they go on that's made out of tires and rubber, and it comes in all sorts of colors for your driveway and that. And durable, doesn't crack, there's a number of things. So those things stand out for me. There's a lot of builders down here. There's a lot of window design, window coverings. Then you get the usual thing, the mops that go by and stuff like that, which everybody's got to buy them. They're great.
Well, I noticed that you mentioned the hot tub for the house. I was just wondering if they still have that woman down there that after you have the hot tub, she beats you with eucalyptus leaves. Is she still there?
We didn't see her. But you know what? Down here at the show, the real general theme though of the show is technology, and the technology-based things there's some very cool things here. There's a TELUS Future Home, and the whole home is like touch screen. You read your iris. There's a monitor beside the front door. You stand in front of it. It reads your iris. It lets you in. It's almost like like the pilots are going into the control tower at the airport. Mm-hmm. It reads your iris. It allows you to go in, and it goes in. You look at the fridge. There's a monitor on the exterior door of the fridge. You look at it. You touch it. It tells you what's in the fridge, tells you what recipes you can make with those contents of the fridge, and what you need to buy if you're going shopping. Then you go. Wow. I mean, it tells you everything. There's health monitors in this future home. It's a monitor. You put your hand on a pad. You just touch it. It tells you what your height, your weight, your blood pressure, your blood glucose levels, your sodium levels, your cholesterol levels, everything. I mean, it's so amazing in this house. Like, this is like James Bond futuristic. Like, we thought we would never see this, but they're saying that this will be the norm within about 5 years. Wow. The other technology thing that I really love was there's a company there called Canada Home Elevator, and it's a glass elevator that is for residential purposes. So it's in your home, and it's perfect for boomers and people that would like to stay in their home, but they can't get up and down, in a 2-story or 3-story home. So it's a glazed elevator. It's got sensors that cross at all angles, like, in the James Bond movie when they're trying to do a bank heist or whatever, and they got all those beams crossing back and forth across the entryway on a doorway. Well, that's what it's like to get in there. It's totally stainless steel. It's got mirrors and glass and It is gorgeous. Motion sensor lights that come down from the ceiling. It is the coolest thing. These things go for your residents. You can put one in for around $50,000.
Oh, wow. Let's get two.
Incredible. That's like way better than having one of those Insta stair lifts that you got, for a stair lift.
I think so. And you know what? When you're talking about those, Bill and Thurn, we're both giving you a thumbs up on that. My vote is still out. We'll have to try it first.
Yes.
With these elevators that they've got too, they actually have kind of the closet elevators that they've got. They're about $55,000, and the one that Janice was talking about is all glass. It's like something that would be in a high-end hotel, and it's $60,000. So it's not really that much difference. However, the one that's $60,000, you can actually get a wheelchair in there.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to talk to Bill Macklem, see if I can get the money, and then I'll be in touch with you people, and you can help me out. So you're on location. Yeah, I know.
Sorry, the $60,000 one, $60,000 and $65,000. So basically, what happens if it's a 2-story or a 3-story, then it's a little bit more, and it can go up to $65,000 on the glazed one if you're going 3 stories. If you're going 2 stories, it's $50,000. So it's about a $15,000 per story that you're going up.
Oh, that's marvelous. And you're on location at the Home and Design Program at the Convention Center until 5 o'clock this afternoon. It's the Real Estate Corner Sisters. It's Cynthia and Janice. And stay out of the hot tub, will you, until next week?
Okay, if you need any information, Google us at the Real Estate Corner. That would be great.
Will do. And have a wonderful week.
Yeah, you too. Great. Thank you.
You too.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Coming up, we're going to chat about the real estate stories that made the headlines this past week. And we're going to continue our series with Norm Holmes, who is the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation. And today we're going to examine the new mortgage regulations.
This is Fern Northcott of RE/MAX Performance Realty with mortgage expert Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, producer Dwayne Bishop and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate, Vancouver's original on-air open house on CIL 650.
CIL 650.
Baby, you're a rich man. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Let's find out from Norm Holmes, the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation, if we can be a rich person, especially with these new mortgage situations.
Ooh, can you imagine?
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Tom.
Norm, I understand there's been a lot of changes recently in the mortgage rules. Can you maybe explain a few of those to us?
Sure can, Tom. The federal government changed the rules for all insured mortgages so that the rate that people have to qualify for is 4.64%, or the benchmark rate. Currently, a 5-year fixed-rate mortgage is only 2.3%, so people now have to qualify for mortgage payments at roughly twice the amount that they will actually be paying.
Now, that's quite a change, Norm. What's that really going to do to the real estate market?
The federal government said that they made the changes to cool the real estate market and keep Canadians from taking on too much debt. The federal government has been tightening mortgage rules since the last recession. I've been in the business for over 35 years, and I've never seen such difficult mortgage underwriting guidelines. The recent change and the ones made in December of 2015 will have a dramatic effect on keeping many people from qualifying for mortgages, especially for first-time home buyers.
Norm, I'm going to be asking a question. Is that really going to be any good for any of us?
That is a matter for speculation. It will mean that less people qualify for bank mortgages, but it will also present a great opportunity for mortgage investments at Pioneer West.
Norm, how is that?
It has already meant that many people who qualified for bank financing a year ago are now taking advantage of our alternative mortgages, and that presents an opportunity for investors to get a great yield with a solid real estate as security. To learn about investing in mortgages, call Pioneer West. This is Norm Holmes for Radio Real Estate.
For more information, call Norm at 604-987-1420. That's 604-987-1420. Or visit pioneerwest.com. That's pioneerwest.com.
It's the Radio Real Estate Show, and time now for the Radio Real Estate Show news headlines. We'll play you the headlines that made the news this week, and Bill and Fern will tell you what they think about the situation. You guys ready?
Ready.
Ready, Bill?
I'm absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Story number one. The National Bank of Canada is predicting a major correction to Vancouver's hyperinflated housing prices over the next 12 months. The bank says the cost of a detached home will decline by 20%. with a more moderate 9% drop for attached homes and a 5% for condos.
Really?
So that's what they say.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
You think?
Yep.
Yeah?
What is it? Say it in the newspaper and then it will really happen.
Oh, that's true.
If said it enough times.
That is
will
if you see
actually
it in the
believe
news.
it.
Yeah, but we tell the truth in this show.
Yeah, no.
No?
Well, we've already heard from a number of realtors this morning already, this afternoon, this already, that there's already a bit of a bidding war going on the attached homes, condos and townhouses, because there's not enough product out there. There still isn't enough product out there.
And when they've cut back on the mortgage qualifications, that where do you go? You go from single-family dwelling, you buy what you can afford, which seems to be townhouses and condos these days. We've got interesting stats.
I'm glad you brought that up. It says Vancouver will continue to attract wealthy foreign buyers once the initial shock from the new 15% tax has run its course. RBC also believes that a sustained surge in listings would be an early warning sign that speculators and others are out there in the market and they're starting to cash in.
So they're kind of saying two things at the same time. So let's go after the first one. So yes, I would think that what's going to happen is that once everybody gets used to this 15% tax, because there's taxes all over the world in terms of these new buyers. So then they're going to make decisions based on whether we want to be buying in Toronto, Vancouver, Seattle.
Seattle, right.
So we're going to be buying in Vancouver because of the climate. We don't have Trump here, so that'll be another good reason.
It was trumped up.
That was trumped up. Sorry about that. And in terms of RBC believing that a sustained surge in listings will be an early indication of speculators cashing in, my neighbor is Chinese, only been in the country 5 years. English is okay, but not great. And we were talking last week, and they have 3 properties, and they're hanging on to all of them.
Well, they buy for their grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
And he was doing a little bit of speculation.
Absolutely.
And he had a place up for sale, and he decided, you know what? We're not selling for a year. We'll wait till this thing
it all settles down.
moves on and come back.
Does he look over the fence and say, ni hao ma?
No, he just says chow mein.
You know, chow mein?
Yeah.
So he goes right to the chow mein before the ni hao ma.
Exactly.
Because ni hao ma means how are you?
They know he does chow mein.
I see. Ontario will not follow BC's tax on foreign home buyers, ni hao ma. The Premier said on Monday that the province will not allow BC's move to introduce the 15% tax. We're not going to go down that road, she says. It's a slippery slope. Well, what do you think?
You know, it's interesting with this that, as some know and some don't know, that this 15% just is selective areas it applies to, as in the GVRD, which if you buy a home on Bowen Island and you're foreign, then you got to pay tax. But if you buy a home in Chilliwack or you buy it in Abbotsford, then you don't pay the 15% tax.
Or Victoria.
Or Victoria. So, you know that since this 15% tax, has it changed an awful lot of things? Yes, it has. It's changed all of the statistics and sales and listings coming in because a lot of people are confused. A lot of people are worried, all this kind of stuff. But, you know, the thing is that if it were implemented, let's say, for all of British Columbia, then you're talking a fair playing field. If you're just talking Vancouver, Burnaby, New West, Surrey, Delta, Langley, White Rock, Aldergrove, and then Abbotsford does not apply, you know, that I don't understand the sense of that. That doesn't really make an awful lot of sense to me.
There you go. All right, now there's a story in the newspaper that says these people are landlords, not inquisitors. Renters are being urged to report any demand for excessive information. So, for example, you go to see a landlord and they can ask you all sorts of questions like, how long have you been working there? How much do you make? How often do you, well, whatever.
These people own the property.
Yeah,
who's they put the money out
here? Who put that money out to buy this property?
If you don't want to listen to the rules, don't apply for the home.
Yeah.
You don't think they're asking things they shouldn't be asking?
I would hope not. I would hope not. I would hope not. I mean, I don't know the questions that they ask, or the questions they are actually asking, but the ones I've seen so far. I mean, we use the Landlords Tenants Act form that's online, and we use that for all our rental people that are actually having properties, and they ask a lot of questions. We have a pet and, you know, how long you're going to be there and put down deposit, all that kind of stuff. But they're not asking about race or color or they're not asking.
I just want to know they've
questions.
got a solid income. I want to see a T4. The article that I read was the tenant was concerned because he had to give up T4s and all this kind of stuff and confirm what his income was.
Well, when you have a selectivity like that, you have to.
When I've just spent $600,000-$800,000 on a piece of property and I'm going to rent part of it out, I want to know that I am going to be able to maintain my investment.
Well,
I think that's fair.
Well, here's a slap in the face. So these people here are asking these questions and they're asking too many questions, and yet the province has put all the power into the renters as opposed to the people who own the property, so that you don't have an ability to get rid of a bad renter.
You just reminded me of my father. I'd come home late, and he'd say, I'd say, you're asking too many questions. Where have you been? Who are you with? Asking too many questions. The city is praising a recent court decision upholding the protection of Shaughnessy's heritage homes. What do you think?
Should always protect any kind of heritage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't have a lot of heritage here, really. We really don't.
No.
We don't?
And the city's less than 100
Who have
years
you been
old.
listening to? I have heritage.
Well, yeah, you have heritage, but you don't have a heritage home. At least not the one I saw you living in last week.
Oh, that was that home. This is
Okay, that's different.
You should see the other dump.
Oh, okay, great.
I've seen it.
Is that the one the appraiser wouldn't go in?
Yeah,
That's
true,
the
true.
one. Okay, you
Yeah,
guys.
heritage homes are very, very important. I mean, you look at Shaughnessy Homes, you look at Queen's Park in New Westminster, and these homes, I owned a heritage home at one time. It was built in 1924.
Mm-hmm.
And, to me,
we don't have a lot of
preserve a heritage home.
And we don't have a lot of them.
Whatever you got to do. I mean,
Well, was it going to be 100 homes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, what is it? It's not like it's a million.
No. So I guess what they're saying here is protecting heritage homes, don't knock them down and put up pink palaces. Do we still do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's one down in King George Highway. I know that.
Oh, yes, there is. And I
still-
like it.
And I still call it King George Highway. You go there quite a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
It's not a bad place.
They've got a good restaurant in that one.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe they should advertise in this program. What do you think?
I think
We've
you're a
tried that,
great
haven't we?
idea.
I think, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
And for some reason, she never talked to me again. I don't understand it.
Nah.
So that's your Radio Real Estate headline news for today. We'll do it again next week on the program. We'll take the hot stories from the day and turn them into, a little talk action for you. We'll find out what's going on in the next portion of the program, Fern.
In our next segment, we will be joined by Monica de Nabriga, president of Mommy Maids, who will chat with us about how to make sure our families are well protected during this cold and flu season.
And we're going to hear from Bob DeWitt, who is the CEO of the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association, about Vancouver in Transit. It's a special luncheon coming up with Kevin Desmond, who is the CEO of TransLink.
There's more real estate information coming up on Vancouver's original on-air open house.
Thank you, Bill. It's Tom Lucas with Fern Northcott of Remax Performance Realty. Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer is Dwayne Bishop, and you're listening to the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy CIL 650.
CIL 650.
The cleanup woman, 'cause she's tough. I mean, she really cleans up.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you very much.
Happy Halloween, Fern. You're all dressed up. You came with little things in your head there. And
Well, yeah.
I thought they were
What the heck
reindeer
was that?
for a
I
minute.
thought they were reindeer too, but apparently they weren't. What are they? Bat wings?
Not Christmas yet. No.
No.
It's part of my Dalmatian outfit.
1001 Dalmatians?
I'm only going to be one Dalmatian.
Okay, well, there's a lamppost outside, so stay away from that till after the show, okay?
Those are males.
Never mind. Time now for our eco-friendly cleaning tip from our person of the week. Here's Monica Di Nabriga. She is the founder and the president of Mommy Maids. Monica, hello there.
With fall upon us and winter soon to be here, you should prepare for the cold and flu season. Disinfecting your home is a very important part of your cleaning routine. Make sure you clean and sanitize all the areas that you use most often, but don't think of them when you're cleaning. It's not just toilets, sinks, and bathtubs that need sanitizing. What about the toothbrush holders, the garbage cans, the toilet bowl brush holders, and your plungers? These need sanitizing too. Then there's the less obvious ones like your phone. You use this all the time. Other people use it. Your light switches and plug-ins, your computers and remotes. There are commercial disinfectants you can use, such as Mr. Clean, Pine Sol, ammonia, bleaches. But for a more eco-friendly solution, use undiluted hydrogen peroxide or a solution of 50-50 vinegar and hot water with a drop of dish soap. Germs have a way of sticking around and are too willing to be passed around. Keep them at bay with these helpful hints. This is Monica Di Nabriga for Radio Real Estate.
Mommy Maids will clean your castle with no hassle. Call Monica today at 604-533-4959. That's 604-533-4959. Or visit mommymaids.com. That's mommymaids.com.
Okay, it's the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy, CL 650. You can also get us online at cl650.com or go directly to our website, which is radiorealestateshow.ca. You can click on Listen Live or you can click on one of the podcasts and have a listen to one of the former shows. We were going to speak with a good friend of the Radio Real Estate Show. His name is Bob DeWitt. He is the CEO of the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association, but apparently he's out building a house.
Yeah, I think he is.
You're doing something. I don't know.
No, he's building a house.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What do they call those houses they build for the disadvantaged, the unfortunate?
Is he unfortunate?
No, but they're building them for them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you.
They've got one in South Surrey, just behind your office, or right behind.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
Haven't they done a great job with that place? Oh, it's awesome.
One of our friends, I can't think of his name offhand. Just was a fellow that actually did all the kitchens and all that stuff that was in that particular unit, and he was telling us about it. It's a really great project. You can take a lease on them for like 20 years.
Yeah.
They are renting them as well. So if you have a handicapped person that needs to live in one of these homes, they have the ability to do that.
Semi-Amu house.
Yeah. So there's Porter Kitchen Cabinets was the ones that did all the kitchen cabinets in that particular unit.
Okay.
Well, coming up, Bob has a special luncheon with the head of TransLink, and we're going to talk about transit in Vancouver. Vancouver and transit. I guess the object of the game is build the homes closer to the transit line. They will come.
Well, that's a thought.
What do you think?
That is a thought.
But
no.
You know, it's the way the transit is. There's always going to be cars here, you know, and each time we come into the studio to do this, you know, that you see people in HOV lines. There's only one person in the car, and you know, it could be monitored better. It could have been planned and still planned. I mean, let's change the plan.
I have good friends, clients of mine that live in Tsawwassen. They heard that it's so hard to get into the mall at Tsawwassen Mills, or is that right? Tsawwassen Mills Mall? So that rather than taking the car, they're going to take the bus. So they waited an hour for the bus. It's supposed to run every half hour. And after the second hour went by, they caught a cab for $10 and went to the mall anyways. But like the buses, like my daughter used to live with us and would take the bus from Marine Drive in White Rock up to Guildford because it runs on the half hour. Well, after the second half hour went by, she comes back up to our apartment at that time, and we had to drive her up to Guildford because they're not consistent.
She probably could have walked quicker.
Absolutely. There's just, we talked this great talk. I had a client out in East Richmond in the industrial area, and I'm seeing her after work to do a mortgage for her. She says, we only have this much time because the last bus that comes to this industrial park leaves at 5:30, so we've got till 5:30. Kind of like, Are you nuts? Like, how does this work?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go down to the home show, and I'm going to take SkyTrain. So next
the SkyTrain
week,
is fabulous.
I love SkyTrain, but with all these regulations and things, I mean, I wouldn't take it for the last week, but I'm going to take SkyTrain, and I will report back to you guys next weekend and let you know how SkyTrain was.
You are brave.
Hey.
Last time I
do my best.
Last time I took SkyTrain was to see a Rolling Stones concert, and I can't remember it for some reason.
That's right. If you remember the 60s, you weren't really there.
The what?
What?
It's Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy CIL 650, and there's a whole lot of information coming up in the next portion of the program, right, Bill?
Yes, it is. We're chatting about mortgages, how to qualify if you don't qualify.
Really?
Yes.
How to qualify if I don't qualify.
Exactly.
I'll be listening to that. We're also going to find out how things have been put together this past week in the Tri-Cities when we chat with Andrea Jock of Keller Williams Elite Realty.
This is Fern Northcott of Remax Performance Realty with Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
This music's strange.
It is really.
It's kind of spooky, isn't it?
Well, it is Halloween.
Halloween!
CL 650. I'm a big man in a big house. A big high fence all around.
I was just thinking, do you think I could sell my place maybe in South Surrey and move to the Tri-Cities?
You could.
Could I?
I know a good realtor out there.
Do you really?
Absolutely.
Well, who would you mean?
Andrea.
Andrea Jock?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I think we have her on the phone right now, don't we? Yes, we do. Oh, what a surprise. Andrea, hello there.
Good afternoon, Tom. Hi, everyone.
How was your weekend so far?
It was great. It was a busy day at our open house in Belcarra, located at 3372 Main Avenue. We just reduced the price to $1.298, which brought out lots of new buyers. Now is your chance to own a piece of paradise with this 4-bedroom and 4-bathroom home with endless opportunities and spectacular ocean views from every level. You will love the gorgeous 700-square-foot master bedroom featuring a large ensuite, 2-way fireplace, and oversized walk-in shower. Taking the ocean views from the 3 large patios, all this and more, this fabulous home is situated on a 20,000-square-foot lot with nature at your doorstep. Just minutes away from White Pine Beach, Port Moody Center, and Rocky Point Park. What a wonderful place to call home. Call today for your private viewing. This is Andrea Jock for Radio Real Estate.
Buying or selling in the Tri-Cities, call Andrea Jock at 604-783-3124. That's 604-783-3124, or visit pinnaclegroupmarketing.com. That's pinnaclegroupmarketing.com.
Oh, little Billy went for a stroll. Bill, come back. Bill. Bill. Oh, you are back. Hi, Bill.
I'm right here.
Where'd you go?
A short walk.
Oh, a short walk. A very short walk. Well, we got you on the program, and I'm so glad you're here each and every week, you and Fern, and you'd like to talk about things that are happening out there, and today you had something special on your mind.
Yeah, I'm a little frustrated.
Wow, really?
Well, I don't think people understand, and I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about consumers. I'm talking about realtors. Fern and I were talking earlier. So I said to Fern, okay, so you have a client that has no income, and you like to get them qualified to buy a property. Mm-hmm. And so you know that you can't go to the bank, so they come to me, and we set the program up. So what happens is we're going to go through a private mortgage. So let's go through a private mortgage. On a private mortgage, there's short-term interest-only loans ranging in length from anywhere from 1 to 3 years. The ones that I do are always open. So that means that you can pay it off anytime. Why would you use a private mortgage lender? Well, you want to purchase an unconventional property, like maybe a float home or a property up in the shoe swaps, whatever, that doesn't have services. You need fast financing. You don't want to waste your time going to the banks because you know it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks. You have bad credit. You have bruised credit. Don't qualify. You only need a short-term loan. I had a fellow that's flying back to, I won't say exactly where he's going because you'll know who it is, but he's flying out of the country to another country, and he owns some rental properties out there, and he thought, I'm going to need $50,000, but I don't know whether I'm going to really need it or not, but I don't want to be begging for it if I'm there and I need the money and you're here. So I went through the whole process. So there's a bunch of different types of mortgage lenders that do that kind of thing. They're all called private lenders. They're either individuals or syndicated, or they're mortgage incorporation. We talked about a mortgage incorporation along with the MIC funds with Pioneer West. And so what we do is we look at them. So the characteristics of a private mortgage. Interest rates are not 2.4%. Interest rates are anywhere from 6 to 18%.
Is that because they're a secondary lender?
Because they're a secondary lender. Okay. Fees are anywhere from 2 to 5%. Why the fees? Well, first off, the interest that you're paying is going towards the MIC fund that you're borrowing the money from. So the MIC fund is looking after their investors. The fees go to the administration of the MIC fund, and they pay some of that to us, the mortgage broker, because they don't have any other way of paying us. What I find is that most realtors are thinking in the now, saying, okay, well, my client doesn't qualify for the 2.49 interest rate. Let's get them qualified because they don't make any income or they have bruised credit or whatever, and they should be getting a 3 or 4% rate. Well, no, that's not the case. I normally get between 6 and 9, not 10 to 18, because I'm pretty careful on who we use. Mm-hmm. Our fees that we charge are anywhere from 2 to 5, and we try to keep them on the downside of as much as we can because we're trying to look after the clients. But what happens with most realtors is that they're either listers or they're selling agents. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure they're looking after their client to either sell or buy the property. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that the sale does go through. What they don't understand is that when they have some other person over here talking about the rate, that person doesn't know the circumstances, doesn't know that you don't qualify, doesn't know that you don't have any income, doesn't know that you haven't even got a job yet. And so you're going to be charged. So they make comments, that one person, about the rates or the fees or whatever, as if they know what's going on, and they don't know what's going on.
So there's so much more involved with suggesting that is talk to a mortgage broker, right?
Well, you know what? I'm thinking that more realtors should talk specifically to the broker before they get them to talk to their clients.
Right on. It's called the big picture.
Exactly.
To get expert mortgage information online, visit billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y.com, or call Bill at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663. Thanks, Bill.
Okay, in our next segment, we're going to hear from Radio Real Estate home handyman Finn Jensen, who's going to talk about family accommodations then, so I'm thinking he's talking like in the 1900s, and now.
How do you know he's talking about the 1900s? Did you talk to Finn already?
I did.
He's getting old, isn't he?
I didn't want to say that.
Just
He's
kidding.
getting more mature.
Yeah, we're all getting more mature.
All right, as the
By
show
the way.
goes on, let me tell you. It's Tom Lucas along with Fern Northcott of Remax Performance Realty, Bill Macklin, president of Dominion Macklin Mortgages. Our producer is Dwayne Bishop, and you're listening to Radio Real Estate on CIL 650.
CIL 650.
I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in and stops my mind from wandering. I'm filling the cracks that ran through the door and kept my mind from wandering.
I was just thinking, this is the weekend for fixing the hole in the roof so the rain doesn't come in.
Just stick a pumpkin in it.
Remember when you were little characters about this tall? Maybe about this tall looks a little better on radio. And you go trick-or-treating, and remember we used to wear the crepe paper costumes? You ever wear one of those?
I did, and you know
In the
what?
rain?
In the rain,
In the
and then
rain,
all
yeah.
that orange stuff stuck to my body. And
Yeah. And my mother would say stupid things like, well, wear a coat over it, dear. What's the point?
Yeah, that's the point. Then you can't see it. Yeah.
But Mom was smart because you don't get wet.
Well, this is true. But the costumes they have for little kids nowadays are awesome.
Yeah, but
Just
they're all store-bought. Speaking of costumes, I think we have our Finn Jensen costume on right now. Finn, hello there.
Good afternoon, Tom, and good afternoon, everyone. Family accommodations are reaching into the past for inspiration. The construction of heritage-style townhomes are going up everywhere. They're not all exactly the same, although some characteristics of the designs are common. It tends to reflect the heritage of the area in which they're built, with interesting variations and colors providing hints of origin. All those designs originated in Europe and the British Isles a very long time ago and are still being copied there today. The warm character of these homes have made them popular with families everywhere. They love the timeless designs. Back in the day, when this style of home was commonplace, it was quite a different experience. While this home was considered upscale, by today's standards, it lacked a few essentials. Any form of central heating would have been uncommon. The kitchen may have had a pump on the sink, and the stove was wood or peat brick fired. Coke and coal was available to folk for an extra charge. The stove in the parlor used whatever one threw into it, and the bedrooms may or may not have had a stove and perhaps a fireplace. In any event, it was a cool place in summer and a mite cooler in winter, but it kept the family tight and the population going. Maybe it'll do the same for Canada, in spite of central heating and whatnot. This is Finn Jensen for Radio Real Estate. Have a happy and safe Halloween.
Get fast, reliable, and dependable service for all your plumbing and heating needs. Call Gentech Mechanical Installations, 778-378-2740. That's 778-378-2740.
Great idea, Bill. Let's call him now and get him down off the roof.
I'm telling you, he's putting a pumpkin in the hole.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Fern, you've got a pumpkin of a listing for us. You notice I didn't say turkey. No, I know none of your listings are turkeys.
Wrong season.
Exactly.
Wrong season.
But you've got a great listing for us today.
Certainly do.
Yeah.
Address first is 8168 120A Street. In Surrey, it's called Soho, and we have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 6-year-old condo here. It's listed at $264,000. It's 855 square feet. Pets are allowed with restrictions, and rentals are also allowed. It's been totally upgraded. It's only 6 years old, but it was near remember where that fire was back in the summertime, the building next door. So anyway, this one has been totally renovated. It's called the Soho. It is $264,000, and it's at 8168 120A Street.
Who do you think might be prospective buyers for a place like this?
Well, rentals are allowed. So, I mean, we're talking investors here, too. We're talking about first-time buyers, somebody that's just had a child or expecting them, because you got 2 bedrooms here. And, it's close to Scott Road, so you're close to the bus for Scott Road Station, SkyTrain, and usually a young family would buy this. Possibly somebody that is retired because it's on the first floor, so, you got that kind of walkout situation as well. So, it appeals to a whole concept of people, especially as it can be rented. Some people let's say a young person would be buying this, and as their family grows, they decide that they're not going to sell their condo, that they're going to remortgage. It's worth more than what they paid, so they get a new mortgage on it and rent it out and go buy something else that accommodates larger stuff. But at least if there's rentals allowed, you can look at future investment. You don't have to sell it.
So now if somebody wants to talk to you, get some more information about this wonderful property, what's your telephone number?
I can be reached directly at 604-790-9066, phone or text 604-790-9066.
Can we email you?
Fern@smart.com. That's Fern with an E, smart with 2 T's.com.
Well, okay, it's time now to clean up just a wee bit. Bill, would you get back up on the roof and put the little, what's up there?
Yes.
The scary stuff.
Oh, the scary stuff.
And then Fern and I have to go to the kitchen because we got some cooking to do.
I got to go change into my costume.
I thought you had it on already.
Thanks.
Oh, okay, just kidding. Talk to you next week. Have a great week.
You too.
Happy Halloween. Bill, happy Halloween.
Thanks, buddy. You too.
To the kids in Master Control, thank you so much. Enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you on Halloween tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock on CL 650. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.